Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tattooing Network.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
John Archiquette.
Will somebody get this big walking carpet out of my way?
Matt Turner.
I'm not afraid.
And
my name is Jeff. You will be.
What's going on, Outriders? John, Jeff, and Matt back at you again. What's up, dudes?
My name is Matt.
I was just thinking that we need to have that sound clip ready to go so Matt can listen to it so he can laugh every time.
Every
we start this, yeah.
What's up, guys? How are you enjoying the Clone Wars?
It's good. I like it.
I think we got to come up with a new other than begun the Clone Wars have, because everybody's using, and they've already started, so
and like,
ongoing the Clone Wars
continues.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Last
they
time in the Clone
just
Wars.
started for us. I mean,
Yeah.
people began the Clone Wars back in August, if you were at Gen Con, and for our good friends over in Sweden, they still don't have the Clone Wars yet.
We were on daylight
no.
savings time. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Is it because they need to flat pack the Legion boxes to get them out there? Or?
I don't know. Like, there were a couple guys on the Facebook page who were saying they don't have those in Sweden, but they already have the dewbacks.
What kind of topsy-turvy?
Who knows?
Crazy.
Well, because the
Craziness.
conversion from medium to or large to medium in Sweden is it's
pretty clear. It's because they're an outpost of the Empire.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully you guys will get your Clone Wars boxes soon enough so you can enjoy in the festivities like we are.
Because there's a lot to enjoy. There really is.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. 2 units. 3 units.
How many games have you played so far?
2.
2?
Yeah.
All right.
So I think this is probably the most I've played outside of a tournament competitive atmosphere in like a 2-week span. I think I've played 5 or 6 games.
Yeah,
since
you've been
that's
hammering
crazy.
games out.
Yeah.
Where do you find time between painting and playing?
Well, I mean,
And work.
I literally don't have a life outside of that, so it's pretty easy. I'm not like LJ, who not only is he, the wonderful soldier that he is, and a teacher, and the officiator of all things Legion related, and then also has the time to comment on every single comment, or every single Facebook post.
Family
Speaking
life,
of,
running events.
yeah.
Like, geez.
Yeah, he's got a lot of plate spinning, but we do have his manifesto, I guess, the update we got. From,
So not only is he officiating stuff, but he's also doing our job as journalists, or what we the closest thing we can come to as journalists, and getting all this information from FFG for us. So thanks, LJ. We'll get into all the details on that stuff later on, but
my brand of journalism is making an outrageous claim, like, is Dooku the illegitimate love child of?
You're the Alex Jones of the Star Wars Legion universe,
Right, of Darth Plagueis. You just leave a question mark at the end, though, so you can't, I'm not saying he is, I'm just asking.
Are you posting YouTube videos? It's like 5 things you didn't know about Dooku's secret childhood.
Tauntauns are trying to make me turn to the dark side.
All the Force sensitivity was in his beard.
So we got some good stuff this week. Obviously, we got a lot of Clone Wars stuff to go over. Our first experiences with it, our painting and assembly experiences, because we've been doing a lot of that.
Are Count Dooku and Christopher Lee the same person?
Is Saruman the same person?
Oh my god.
So we got a lot of stuff with that. We'll look at Disney Plus dropping in T-minus 5 days?
Something like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty
it's
soon.
gonna be-
4 days if you're listening on Friday.
Like a week or so. Is it the 14th or the 15th?
12th.
I'm not sure.
12th. Oh, yeah, 5 days.
Tuesday.
As of today.
Because that's they were all going to gather together and watch The Mandalorian.
Oh, that's right.
Well, the first episode of it.
Yes. But that's...
It's not all coming out at once.
No, I know.
It's all it's
I know.
available.
Yeah.
But, I mean, even still, it's going to be a celebration.
Yes.
It's a celebration. All right, but let's get into it. Star Wars news. We got any other Star Wars news besides the Disney Plus stuff?
So I'll be honest, I try to avoid a lot of the news right now because anytime I see Star Wars in my feed, I'm scared it's going to be spoilers or stuff like that.
Just scroll by real fast.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, we do have, as a result of LJ's little, his manifesto, as I mentioned, we've got dates for a lot of products now.
Yeah, let's get into that, because
Yeah.
we were kind of on a drought for releases for a while, and now it looks like we're going to be hit with the mother lode right
3
before
things
the
at one
Christmas
time. Or no,
season.
more than that. Yeah, it's like 3 big releases at one time.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got every week, it seems like, up until Christmas. starting next week. So
Oh yeah, because we do have operatives and stuff.
yeah.
Vader,
Well, today or tomorrow we've got the Bark Speeder and the Droidicas officially out.
Yep.
Next week we've got Dooku.
I
and
think they
Rex.
came out last week. Actually.
Did they come out last
Oh,
week?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So they're out.
So then Dooku and Rex.
Yep.
Up
They're going to be out
Friday.
next week. Yes. Very exciting.
And then after that, we've got both Operative Vader and Operative Luke coming out. We've got
Well, Dewback Rider, November 22nd.
oh yeah. So the official release of the Dewback Rider will be the 22nd.
The official repacked, released, remixed,
Yeah.
re-readied. And then Legion paints? Do people care?
So the Army Painter sets, honestly,
I think some people do. I've seen people asking about them.
Yeah.
Is that why you've been taking so long painting your army?
Oh,
Jeff?
yes,
You've been waiting
yeah.
for that? Oh, okay, now it all makes sense.
You know, all
For
the other paints
officially
I have,
licensed
all the other
Army
paints I
Painter
have, I'm just going to
brands.
throw away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
you
straight in the dumpster.
But I mean, if you want to like stick to the box, box art, paint schemes, it's a good option for you. And a lot of the Sarastro videos, he's using those Army Painter paints. So, like I said, if you want to stick with the strict, by the box, there you go.
Are you going to strip and repaint all your stuff, John?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But even if I did, I'd still get them done faster than Jeff.
Probably.
Except for my priority supplies.
Yeah.
but
You got me
Where are
there.
your priority
will your
supplies at?
moisture evaporators be blinking at you
Yeah.
No,
merrily
they won't.
in the low lights?
He said he never uses them. He said he never plays that mission.
He doesn't.
He said all he plays is Breakthrough.
Only play Breakthrough.
Yeah, which is a lie. Because we played Intercept one time.
Yeah, it's
the one
fine.
time we
I
played.
just use cardboard tokens.
Yeah, man.
Not a big deal.
They don't look as good, though.
That's fair.
I want to be immersed in Star Wars.
With
But
your
anyway,
enveloped
gray models. All right. So anyway, so what else we got for
And then
dates?
December is the, as you were saying, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader operatives, Imperial Bunker, Crash Escape Pod. No actual date though on that.
Yeah, they just.
But they're all going to be Q4 2019, which means
Yeah.
probably before Christmas.
And then Phase 2, B2 Super Battle Droids, AAT, TX-130, the Saber tank, February.
Yep.
So nothing in January, it sounds like.
You got to get past that New Year's hangover.
Well, let's not get too greedy. I mean, we've got
Yeah.
a lot of stuff coming up before Christmas.
well,
really
yeah,
want
because
that
they said
AAT.
Dooku and Rex was not going to be out till next year,
Yeah.
and now it's coming out.
Yeah, and they
in
specifically talk about
week.
that. Basically, I guess they were ready to go, and the marketing guys saw an opening. And honestly, yes, they absolutely should be doing this because getting some variety on the field, even though it's only a couple weeks old.
Well, I'm excited because
It's
we're gonna have a doubles tournament coming up on the 16th.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to actually have it this weekend on the 9th. And
Are you setting us up for another RPQ thing where we thought we were going to have Clone Wars in time for the RPQ?
Oh,
well, no,
man.
we almost had to avoid having doubles droids or doubles clones because there weren't two commanders. But now we'll have two commanders available. So hopefully we'll see some Rexes.
I
and
think
some
I would
Dookus.
approve of double Rexes because guess what? They're
What-
clones.
What's a plural of Dooku? Is Dooku a plural? In itself?
Dookies.
Is it Dookies?
Count Dookies.
Count Dookies?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
Jeff, you're generally a very mature person. I would say like your overall maturity level is much higher than mine in
Yeah,
maths.
yeah.
Yet for some reason you've laughed harder at a Dookie joke.
You are so happy with yourself right
Yeah.
now.
I don't know. It just popped in my head. First thing, thinking about Dookies.
Dookie's popping in your head, huh?
I don't know. Usually proper nouns don't get that kind of pluralized treatment
Okay.
unless it's Rexuses.
Sushis and sashimis.
I think I'm having a strokes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to those guys. I really want to put Dooku on the field.
Yeah, I'm pretty
his rule
excited
is
to see
so
both of
cool.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a commander with the clone special rule, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Passing all those tokens. Stuff,
Oh,
right?
man.
Ooh, yeah. I
Up
can't
the
wait to
left-hand
just
side.
stand by every other clone trooper and just have Rex out there.
At
shooting
range to
everything.
1 to 2.
Range of 1 to 2, yep.
Step closer.
All right,
Hey, he
so-
can take Overwatch. He can't shoot that far, but he
No,
can take
you're right.
Overwatch.
That's true. Yeah.
I guess he could move
and then shoot,
forward
yeah.
and then
Shoot
get
next
shot
time,
and
yeah.
lose the standbys. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if
he
you're-
doesn't lose the standby.
Oh, that's right. If he's pulling them from other units, move out of range of the people with the standby
Yeah.
tokens. So
Hey, if you're all fighting over some center objective and he gets in there and just starts popping shots off
Oh
left
my
and
god.
right.
Yeah.
is this the Han Solo we've always wanted?
Right, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So okay, what else did LJ spoil or let us know?
Let's
Let's
see,
finish up with all of LJ's dissertation that he wrote.
Doctorate thesis.
Right. And of course, this wasn't just LJ hypothesizing. This was he basically did an interview with
the marketing manager of FFG, Evan Johnson.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay, so he gave the updates and the delays, all the release dates. The transparency, got that already.
Which I am all for, man.
Yes.
If we can get some more, back and forth between, like early on, we had a whole lot of information coming from like Alex Davey and having him answering things, and then it was kind of quiet there these last couple of months.
Well, I know they've had a lot going on too. I was just watching X-Wing Worlds, and they had Alex Davey on there doing a lot of commentating or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's got a lot going on.
Somebody stepping into that role.
Yeah.
As I am the Legion guy.
And then we had what was the on the Facebook, Matt Holland doing a lot of the reaching out, which was good.
Yeah, and they do talk about that. There's supposed to be more to come. I like this thing about they might be more accessible by like fan media podcasts and whatnot too.
Yeah, and they said that they're already trying to be more active with Discord and with Facebook, Reddit, and FFG forum community. So that's great.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because, it's been a long time since we had that initial where we got to interview them, and that was awesome. But, yeah, hopefully that means we'll be able to get a hold of them here again in the future. Instead of just shouting into the void and never getting a response.
Even if it's like a public...
Hey, you guys want to come on the show again?
Crickets.
Okay, cool.
And then the other question he kind of posed was putting some of the focus back on the players, creative minds, and leaders of the community. One of my favorite things that I saw from their post that was release related was when they did the how to put an LED saber on Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool. Is
that actually theirs?
Yeah, that was one of their
realize.
posts that they had on their page.
I was like, this is hobby stuff. I'm just going to skip past this. So,
well, it's because you have all of me do your all your hobby stuff done by me.
I was like, I got to flag this to make sure John reviews it for him doing my hobby stuff.
But yeah, I think it was a community member that did the post for them, and then it was posted on their official page under news. So
cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, more of that stuff.
So let's take while we're talking about hobby stuff, let's take a little extended hobby look here, because usually we'll do one, maybe one every other episode or so. Yeah. But I think Jeff, you and I have been hitting the hobby bug pretty hard here.
Yeah, I got a weird bug, like you said, to do some mods. I don't know why, and decided to change
anything
my
to delay the actual painting.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. How many boxes of Clone Wars did you buy?
I bought two core boxes.
And you got the clones out of that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So you bought 2, and naturally you spent the last 2 weeks working on your priority supplies.
No, I assembled all my clones first. That probably took a day. Like
a whole day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no,
you stretched that out then, sir.
Yeah.
15 bark speeders.
Yeah. They were hard to put together. The barks a little bit. Yeah. I'm waiting for the talk to me about the droids joke.
I mean, have you tried that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've still got 2 units of freaking B1s to put together.
Stuck to your fingers?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right,
but,
So
did we talk about
that
the plastic glue works on the droid sprues?
I don't think because I think we got the boxes after we recorded, correct?
Yeah, that's probably fair. But I was under the assumption, I think I said something to the effect weeks ago that it would not, based off of what I had heard.
Yeah.
But we have since disproved that, the GW plastic glue works on those hard sprues, not the clone stuff.
Right. Yep.
That's still that weird other material. But
the bark speeder, I think.
Just an FYI, that was a game changer because I built my first 2 squads using like super glue, and then actually getting over to plastic glue, which I far prefer.
Yeah, so when you're assembling droids, that's the easiest, best way to do it is use the GW plastic glue. It holds a lot better. It gives you a little bit of time to wait for it to dry, so you can actually move the poses around.
I think it's nice too because seams don't show as much with the plastic glue.
Yeah.
Does that welding? But you heard it here last.
And it doesn't stick to your fingers. That's the most important.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep.
So you could slather it on and make a mess, and it would be bad, but it's not like super glue.
I imagine like me and Jeff getting into a ghost situation with just plastic glue being.
Wait, which is the one like
I'm not going to tell you which one is
behind
which.
the other one?
I'm not going to let. I'm going to let you decide.
Well,
Using
Matt's
the
6 feet
theater
tall.
of the mind.
Matt's 6 feet tall, and I'm not 6 feet tall. Yeah, let your brain wander.
Can you still wrap your arms around him?
Yeah,
That's
I would
the
be
real
like
question.
Yoda on a Luke's back.
Oh, Halloween costume ideas for next year.
Anyways, yes, and just getting sloppy with that plastic glue because that's not expensive.
Yeah.
All right, so you hadn't had to bother building those.
No, I didn't build
Okay.
those. Yeah, I didn't want to. I mean, they look great. I think they look great.
They're fun.
But I would not want to build them. I watched a couple people build them. I watched you build them, Matt.
I'm
They
still
looked
building 'em.
awful. Yeah.
I'll FaceTime you late night.
So how much have you had built now?
So I've got both. Well, so I had basically 2 starter boxes and then 2 actual troop boxes. But I've got 4 units of B1s done, both of the Droidicas, and then I've got an extra Grievous if I want to do the alternate pose. But so I've got 2 more units to go. It was enough. We played a 500 point.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
the
where
other
you
day.
ran
That
the
was fun.
droids and I ran the clones.
Yeah, that was my first time playing droids. They were a lot of fun. We'll talk about that more later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not to be the one-upper here, but I
painted my armies and I assembled them. And how many armies? 4?
Yeah.
I have the entirety of my droids painted, assembled, finished, all marked off with unit markings and stuff like that. They're all done, magnetized, and in a nice covered cookie sheet.
Did you give them the marking that I
Lasagna
wanted?
pan.
Lasagna pan, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's
Did
up?
you give them the marking that I wanted?
What was that?
The circles on the eyes? And
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No, so I only did.
Wanted like graffitied B1s,
No, it's like-
big mustaches. And,
No, it was a circle on one eye, a circle on the other, and then like a long column down the nose. So just use your imagination. You want me to draw it out for you? I'll draw it for you later.
It looks like a bag of something you might buy in
Yeah, there you
Washington.
Yeah, just draping over their.
No, I only painted
Beaks,
the top of their antennas.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one.
So it's a subtle enough unit marking that it's not going to ruin the overall appearance of my.
Because you don't like painting your bases, you do all your basing like.
No, I totally get that too.
Yeah.
I think it can be distracting for a very nicely presented army.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. And I get,
But for
That's how I am,
practicality, it is a fantastic way to go if you don't really care about that.
yeah, well, for my rebel troopers, I don't have any kind of markings or anything like that to differentiate them. I just try to space them out enough, and it hasn't really come into play that often. With the droids, the first game I played, I didn't have any unit marking on it. Forget it. Like it's so hard because you're trying to spread your guys out, and then you're going to have guys kind of like interlapping, like overlapping in your formations, and it's a nightmare.
Or you can do what I do with the Empire and just have the everything bagel list. Just no duplicate units of anything. Short troopers,
everything.
snow troopers, stormtroopers.
It's interesting. It's a good thought.
And now with the
Not effective,
the
but-
mortar, we can get up to 4 troop units in the everything bagel list.
I don't think it's going to work for the droids yet. Just saying. I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that for the
you got
droids.
3 choices of
Yeah,
units.
you play those 150-point games, I guess.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't work for his Wookiees either. Unless you have different braidings, different hair braidings.
I do that sometimes. Where
Oh, you have your different colors on your Wookiees.
I have,
different
like 8 different
scrunchies.
colors.
Different scrunchies, yeah.
But yeah, so I got all the droids done. The clones, I had all done.
Yeah.
And
What
then
happened? The
There's
paint
more.
fell off of them?
Oh, wait.
Well, then I got a little over ambitious. So I don't know all that much about Clone Wars, but being a Space Wolves player, I'm just generally obsessed anything wolf related or anything that's like slightly feral. And then I discovered that the 104th, wolf pack is
Yeah.
awesome.
Plo Koon's Legion,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Super cool. Watched a couple YouTube videos about their lore and everything. I'm like, man, these guys are awesome.
Yeah, they're a
And
fan favorite for sure.
they
Yeah.
fit the aesthetic that I like to paint. So I'm like, well, I've got all these wonderfully painted, nice white clone troopers. Let's just ruin all that and paint a whole new scheme.
Well, I mean,
We didn't
you
have to
wouldn't
paint a whole new scheme, right?
you just had
I
you added markings, right?
Added paint and markings.
Okay.
And
We'll strip them all.
transfers.
So repaint them white.
Yeah.
That's the markings.
So as promised, I posted the photos of the test models I did for the transfers on the Facebook page and got a pretty good response out of
Yeah,
it.
they look
Yeah.
pretty good.
So here's basically what I did. Transfers are not as easy as I expected them to be right off the bat.
I haven't used transfer paper in a long time. Not since like building models and stuff as a kid.
Years ago,
Yeah.
trying to do like tau transfers.
Yeah.
And I just could not do it. And I was like, well, this will never be for me.
So was it the making of the transfers or the application of the transfers?
The applique. These were all
Yeah, they were all
pre-made
pre-done,
ones.
right,
Like getting them like, okay, you gotta
okay.
kind of tease them off the page and get them on there.
Well, and first you have to trim it to size,
yeah,
right?
you got to
Yeah.
get the right size and maybe put some creases in there so it'll lay flat on a curved surface.
You do
Oh
have to
my!
do that.
And then you need
No.
a tab to hold it by, right? Some of them. You have like
I
a
just
tab.
I
Yeah.
do it all with the paintbrush.
Yeah.
So here's basically what I did. I had to go and make the transfers myself. I looked through eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Pinterest, all that stuff to try to find legit, like, pre-made transfer sheets that were Legion size, so like 147th scale. Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
The best
There's
I could
not a lot
find,
out there.
There was
No.
there was a 1/12th scale that was for like action figures or like large size models.
Well, you can find symbols. You can find like the Empire symbol and the Republic symbol,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
Yeah, and there were a few companies that I went through that were like Company B was one that I checked out that were fairly responsive. I told them I had some ideas for stuff that I wanted to make, and they said there was like a 3-week wait time. Which that's not bad. That's
bad,
pretty quick.
no.
But I have ADD, and when I have an idea, like
I'm
3
going to
weeks,
invent the wheel.
I might not even want this in 3 weeks. Like it's forever.
Time to strip them and start over again.
yeah.
Like my entire life is impulse buys. Okay, so I went on Amazon and I ordered some transfer paper.
Yep.
Now
So I gave you a ream of that, but it wasn't the white back. It
you
was
did.
like
So there's
clear
2 different
transfers.
kinds. Well, there's 4 different kinds of transfer.
Oh, really?
paper,
Okay,
So
well,
you've got your inkjet and laserjet.
Okay.
And then you have your white and your clear transfer paper.
Yep.
Now the one that you gave me was inkjet clear transfer paper.
Okay.
Now, the thing about clear transfer paper is most printers, not $5,000 printers,
Yeah.
don't print white.
Nope.
They don't print white ink because they assume the paper is
Oh,
white.
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying.
And
okay.
this is the issue I came up with when printing off Dawson's Golden Knights, Imperial Knights.
Interesting.
They didn't have the white background. So if you're going to put anything on clear paper, you have to put it on a white surface.
Even LaserJet, I think, is the same way because they have those.
Yeah, even LaserJet, yeah.
The 3 main colors: magenta, yellow, and blue, and then black.
Yeah.
CNYK.
Yeah.
Cyan, yellow,
Yeah.
magenta, and black. Yeah. So they only print in those. So if you're printing onto a clear surface, it's going to assume white is already there. So if you're putting it onto a gray surface, which are the shoulder pads for my Wolfpack,
Yep.
it's not going to stand out being a white actual surface, a white marking.
Fair.
So I bought the white paper
Uh-huh.
and I printed on a gray background. And what I basically had to do was cut around it, and then I painted over the edges. I did a hard coat and then painted over the edges.
A hard coat, so like just a clear coat?
Yeah.
Okay.
So ard coat, not the
Okay.
silent H.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the apostrophe ard.
TM with the trademark. No, so that was like what I had to do to basically create it. Now the other thing that I learned through trial and error was you can't just take a picture off of Google
Yeah.
Images and shrink it down.
Yeah, because it gets really blurry, right?
It does.
Yeah.
So there's a thing that is called vectoring. Now, I'm sure anybody who's got any experience in graphic design is probably, well, duh, and you know what? Go ahead and skip 2 minutes from now. Vectoring essentially means that you can increase or decrease the size of an image without losing any resolution because it's not actually taking
It's not taking
the pixels
pixels.
individually. It's taking anchor points within the shape of the object. Now, if you go on to Google Images, you can find some really good examples of the markings for the Wolfpack, and you can create a vector using either Photoshop or there is a program I believe called Inkscape, or you can use Adobe Illustrator if you've got some really advanced programs.
Yeah.
Creative Cloud's not a cheap software, so if you don't have that, there's free stuff. There's a really good YouTube video that I watched, and the guy basically explains that Inkscape's the way to go.
Okay.
So you can use Inkscape, and it's a free download, like I said. You can use that to turn a JPEG into a vector.
Nice.
So once you've got that vector, you can bring that into, I think they use it directly on Inkscape. I actually have Illustrator, which made it easy.
Yeah.
But you can shrink that down and essentially create a layout of a whole bunch of little examples. Now, I use another program to measure this because to get the right size, you can either do a lot of trial and error, or you can just take my advice.
That sounds like a waste of resources.
It is, yeah. So I used basically an app-based measuring tool called Ruler Pro.
Okay.
And figured out the shoulder pads for the clone troopers are about 1.7 millimeters in diameter.
Did you know that's my name on Modern Warfare?
1.7 in diameter?
Yes.
On Modern Warfare or Grindr?
Yeah.
I mean,
Both.
you can use the same login for both. Yeah.
Which that equates to about 15 square pixels.
Okay.
So if you want to create one of these, you put it about 15 square pixels, you're going to get the exact parameters that you need for the Clone Wars shoulder pads. Basically I created a sheet with all of those printed off on LaserJet white paper, cut out all of them, and
whose
glued them
printer
back
did
on.
you end up using?
I used a free access printer. We'll put it that way.
Okay, there it is. Okay, I was wondering.
He walked in somebody's house and he was like, "Hey, use
This
your
seems
printer."
unsecured.
Drove around until
Can
he
I borrow a
found
cup of sugar and use your LaserJet printer?
How did you know?
So, but they do make white paper for inkjet.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh, that's awesome.
Inkjet are a lot more common.
I think that's a better. Inkjet. No, I think the laser is a better option though because
You get
the
better DPI.
Inkjet. Yeah, you get a little bit of fuzziness there, no matter what.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I like using the LaserJet, because you are dealing with extremely small details.
And the other nice thing about LaserJet is the way it bonds to the paper. It's like waterproof.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna
nice.
mess it up. Yeah.
I think the most exciting thing to come out of this, if they ever come out with the LAAT for the clones, you're totally going to be doing some like the shark smiles from like the Mustangs.
Oh, yeah.
Pop those right on there.
Oh, I thought about that.
Yeah.
I saw somebody did that with their ATST. It looked really
That's
sharp.
awesome.
Yeah.
So the last thing with that too, as far as applying the transfers, because that is a pain in the butt for a lot of people.
Yeah.
The two products I recommend over anything: Microset and Microsol.
So one not dissolves, it softens it up, and then the other one.
So Microset, you apply
Yeah.
first on
Okay.
the surface you're gonna put it on.
Got it.
And what that basically does is it reduces any slipperiness.
Okay.
So you put the transfer on there and it's just gonna stay there.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
It acts as that kind of bonding agent onto the plastic or the paint. And then Microsol actually softens the transfer itself.
So you don't have to cut.
Exactly.
How-
They're
How,
both
how
slices.
fragile were they when you were actually?
not fragile at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because
so
that was the problem I had.
Yeah.
But I was using water, so.
Yeah, they weren't fragile. I was able to trim them out with an X-Acto knife fairly easily. Put them in the water, they slid right off, and then put the
How many have you done?
all of them. I did all of them yesterday.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
See,
so-
I do like 2 or 3. I'm like, wow, this is going to take a while.
This is enough.
I need
No.
a nap.
Tired.
No,
I need somebody to do this for me.
I binge watched the end of the effing world and applied all those yesterday.
Nice.
So they're they turned out great. I'm finishing up with the edge highlighting on the models. So
did you do
once they're
all your
done,
clones? Did they all have the same pattern, or did you do different patterns?
different
That's
patterns?
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
So I did some different helmet patterns
Yeah.
to differentiate them, and then some different markings on the legs and arms. All the shoulder pads are the same though.
Yeah. So my problem is because I started painting my clones too. I went with the 212th, which is Obi-Wan's whatever. So I don't think I'm going to do them all
Commander
the same.
Cody's.
Yeah, I'm just going to do I'll have a core unit that's Commander Cody and his little squad. I'm going to do another squad. So I'm going to have a bunch of different mixtures. I think I talked to you about that. Just because I like having a bunch of different looking models. I don't like having all the same color out there for some weird reason.
That's a mathematical impossibility right now in that you only have like 3 models painted.
Well, yeah.
So
Different shades of gray.
Yeah.
Right.
50 shades of gray. Oh, yeah.
50 legions.
But that's part of the nice thing about the 104th is they do kind of have like some level of personality
Yeah.
in each marking,
Yeah.
like the different markings and stuff. So it leads a little bit easier to having it be believable that they have unique squadron markings.
Yeah.
and
So
stuff.
the other thing that slowed me down was I looked up the 212, whatever, 212th, and I found units that I liked, and I was like, all right, let me get reference photos. So I have reference photos for 7 guys out of that squad to paint. So I did long shot. I've already got him done. That was the one I sent you the picture of. So
Yeah.
that slows me down a lot in my painting. is picking these very specific models and then trying to
And then
duplicate
spending 15 hours painting Sabine.
it.
So.
Yes.
So as much as I make fun of Jeff
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
painting very slowly and painting things that are lower priority and higher priority,
Well, it's a priority.
right? He's
Yeah,
a fantastic
priority.
painter.
Yes.
He is a very good painter. He does a great job. He just takes his time and
That's true.
lovingly commits to his hobby.
Yeah.
And he also does things like LEDs, which I don't even mess around
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. So that was that
don't
was
play
about a
them,
good
yeah.
2 weeks of work, on and off the LEDs.
They go on and off?
They do. Yeah.
Nice.
They pulse. I know how much you love that.
I do.
Yeah, if you want to see the example of his LED stuff, he's
Yeah.
got it on our Facebook page and the Legion Facebook page.
Yep.
Although it's probably buried by now, so go on our page.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'll
so
be
it's on
there.
our page. I did a write up. It's not very detailed, but I think it's detailed enough. It's pretty simple. It's a lot of small drilling holes and making some slots for wires to sit. So
I won't lie, I looked at it, I'm like, that's really cool. I'm never gonna do it.
yeah, yeah,
There's certain aspects of the hobby that just intimidate me, and anything electronic related, I'm like, nope.
yeah.
Not
For sure,
gonna
I
do it.
understand that. I see people do like fiber optic mods to X-wing stuff, and it looks amazing. But that sort of detail I could never do, and some of the other details I've seen come out of Legion so far.
It's nice that we've got like the three different aspects of the hobby here. We've got
Yeah.
Jeff, who likes to do the electronics and the
Yep.
the neat LED stuff. You've got me, who does all the painting,
Yeah.
and then you got Matt, who's the delegator.
Yes. Only as a last resort. I'm still planning to maybe do some of the painting.
He
for
represents the hobbyist.
my
who,
droids.
Yeah, commission
I feel
stuff.
like I can't mess them up too bad, so. And I don't really care. That's why I like playing them, because who cares if they die?
And you're actually a good painter too. Looking at
I've
like,
seen his stuff. Yeah.
yeah, the biggest shock was seeing all his old Warhammer Fantasy stuff. Like, wait, you can paint?
No, it's only ever tabletop quality because that's all I ever put into it. So
But your tabletop quality is better than a lot of people's.
I can stay within the lines.
quality.
That's
Yeah.
literally my only claim to any kind of prowess in painting is I can clean things up and stay in the lines.
But you are going to paint your droids.
I am committed to painting my droids.
What are you going to use?
I'm going to do contrast.
Yeah, so I think that's okay. I think that's a good option.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You use contrast.
I
I've
use
seen other
contrast
people
as
use
well,
contrast. Yeah, I think you're going to kill it with
I
contrast.
was thinking about doing clones, but I actually want them to look good, so I'll put them on the queue for John. Put them on the conveyor belt.
Okay. Yeah, and honestly,
rush.
the same method that I've been kind of preaching about with for stormtroopers is basically what I did with the clone troopers too.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
a
we
little-
talked about that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, a little extra time just to do the cleanup with the white, and you're good.
Yeah, so one of the big changes you did was you used a can of like shiny white to get the zenithal kind of
I
spinner.
didn't.
You didn't?
I tried it.
Oh.
Hated it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that trial and error here. Like
okay.
I'm not somebody who like knows everything right off the bat. So I did a couple test models with Testers gloss white, and I was thinking I'm going to use that
Ooh, no.
and forego
Isn't
the
Tester's dead now?
No, they're still around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I use them for clear coat.
Yeah, it was still a acrylic. You know, it wasn't an enamel or anything like that. I didn't care for it.
I think it would make blending really hard, right?
Well, it just
Because it's shiny. So
well, it's shiny, but also it's kind of watery, and I shook it up
Okay.
a lot.
Show me a result. I'm kind of curious what it came up as.
Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like.
Okay.
It's just
so how did you do your clones?
so I did a zenithal highlighting with I started with gray,
Okay,
like a dark gray, like Mechanicus standard
Mechanicus,
gray.
yeah.
gotcha.
Did a what's the new contrast white that's out?
Bone.
The bone white
Or the other one.
It's the.
Wraithbone, yeah.
Yeah, Wraithbone.
Is it? Oh,
Wraithbone,
I did
yeah.
Wraithbone
Contrast.
at about
yes,
a 45
okay,
degree
the
angle
base.
around
That's what I
it.
used. Yeah.
And then top down, I just took just the matte white that I had from
I thought you were talking about the apothecary white.
No,
No.
yeah.
No,
But
the Corax.
I use that.
talking about Corax
Oh,
white.
okay. Is it Corax? Oh,
No,
okay.
Corax
That's the
white is
white
the regular white,
Yeah.
which actually isn't even a white. It's like a slightly off gray.
Yeah, that's actually. Like
That's another primer, though, right?
It is another primer.
That's the one I used for
okay.
my top down.
Yeah.
So I did almost the same thing as you, but I made a mistake and used black, which I will not do again. I'll use
Oh,
gray.
yeah.
So, but I did cover up a lot of the black.
Okay.
But it just
But it took a lot
left
of layers.
problems. Yeah. So gray is my next.
Black's not always the worst to use.
Yeah.
I
If
don't
you're trying
like
to go
using
real
it for
high like
white.
that,
Yeah, no, it just left a lot of spaces underneath that I was fighting to shade in with my other stuff. So I didn't like it.
Yeah. So the what is it called? Wraithbone white.
Yeah.
I use for like a 45 degree angle, and then top down I use white.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, and then from there I did a gloss coat.
I did not do that.
And then I used Nuln oil, 50/50 Nuln oil with medium, and just mixed it, and then put it like in the crevices, which honestly, looking at the color you get from it, it's not that dissimilar from Apothecary White.
So that's what I used. I used Apothecary White, but I did I used the Lamian Medium to really thin it out. And it's still pretty dark, but I think it gives that good, you get a good shade in there, and I used it as a wash and less as a contrast paint. So that's what I'm going to do. And I know I said I hated contrast paints, but for this sort of stuff, I think it works.
Yeah,
It's a tool.
Yeah, you just gotta know how to use it. So I think thinning it down is the way to go for stuff like this.
the thing that I always preach to people about who are intimidated about painting white is use as little white as possible.
Yeah.
Like the actual
straight white.
matte white,
okay.
straight white.
Yeah. Because you can't
use
highlight up from there.
Exactly. Like that's your last step. And it's also very hard to get it to not look chalky.
And that's what I was talking to you about. I was like, hey, what were you using to blend before you did your highlights? And you said the
Pallid Witch Flesh?
Yeah, which I
Yes.
picked some of that up.
Yep.
And it
Yeah,
looks
that's good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more of an eggshell white. If you want
Yes.
like a grayer white,
Which is what I was looking for.
Eggshell or a gray white?
The grayer white, yeah.
Okay, so a grayer white Administratum gray.
Yeah.
If you're going through the GW line, is pretty good. I would mix that with a little bit of white because it is a little bit more on the gray side.
Yeah.
But yeah, build up to it because you don't want to have. You want to use that white just for the edge highlighting, just for flat surfaces that might catch the surface, that might catch light from the sun, something like that.
Like the top of the helmet, or just with the little hand guard,
Exactly.
back of the hand guard,
fingers, stuff like that. Yeah, use that, and that's how you get like a nice, subtle, gradual build up to white.
Yeah. Otherwise, you get those hard lines and the chalkiness, like you said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or just don't paint white.
Yeah.
Or do that, I guess.
Yeah, I've seen some good-looking alternate paint schemes so far for both factions. I've seen some blue droids that looked really good, some blue metallic
I saw
droids
the
that looked
blue
really
ones.
good.
Yeah, the blue metallic droids look really cool.
Yeah.
I saw some
was pretty
chrome
good.
ones that somebody was like a little Terminator inspiration there, and
Yeah.
those looked really good.
Also, shout out to Sean Morris for his comedy droids. I don't know if you saw those.
Oh, yeah.
He put together like a bunch of droids doing like slapstick comedy.
Yeah,
my
Three
God.
Stooges stuff. Like,
Nice.
One of them is like
Tripping
his
over each
head
other.
is not like his head's not on the model, and he's like reaching for his head, and then the droid next to him, the head is on his base.
Oh my God, that's so
And then
good.
he's bending over to pick it up, and it's just like he's got a whole series of them that all kind of lead to like consequential, like
George
humor
Lucas
stuff.
approved.
Yeah.
So
Just
I
waiting for
gotta kick out of
waiting for the Gungans to come out so you can have them kicking over other stuff.
that. Yeah, exactly. Is there any other hobby things you wanted to talk about?
No, I mean we kind of covered everything. I think.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm inspired. I'm excited. I want to get out there and
Commission somebody
never
to-
mind.
Oh, the fleeting hobby bug.
Yeah.
It came and left. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then coming back, we're going to talk about all of the games we got in for the new Clone Wars set.
You're listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network, recorded on location at Power 9 Games. Whether you're looking for the latest releases from Legion, X-Wing, 40K, Magic, or any of our other extensive inventory of board and card games, head to power9games.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER10 to get 10% off your order. Plus, shipping is free on orders over $100. Now, back to the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. John, Jeff, and Matt. All right, so I know we all got a lot of games in this week. It's been probably, I would say, the busiest we've seen our Legion.
Well, I think we've got
Community here in
another
a while.
graduated scale here where Jeff has gotten to,
Yeah.
I've got in about half a dozen plus, and then you've been, over the last couple of weeks, maybe like 10, 11 games.
I don't know about that many. It's
Well,
been about,
I mean, since the Clone Wars came out.
since it
it's
came
been-
out,
Yeah.
I would say somewhere between 6 to 10. Yeah, I would say
Okay.
in
That's a
that
good
range.
comparison because it's like I have kids. Matt has none, but he has a wife, and then John is you're not single, but you don't have anybody at home.
Forever
right now.
alone,
Incel John.
geographic bachelor. Is
My
what I
friends
like.
are the droids.
Yeah, like geographic bachelor. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've all
My
got a lot
girlfriend
of
goes to
games.
another school. You wouldn't know her.
My girlfriend lives in another country.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
true.
You're still waiting on the mail order catalog? Or?
Svetlana, I miss you. No, we've got like quite a few games in, some
Yeah.
decent experience with both. So, Jeff, you tell us about the games you've played. So, you've been sticking with just clones, right?
Yeah, because that's what I went for.
You traded off
Yep.
your droids.
Yeah, I didn't want to put them together, didn't want to paint them, didn't want to play them. I play Rebels, so I don't want to deal with more white dice and less surges to, I mean,
Let me tell you the
God.
single liberating thing about the droids
Yeah.
and their white dice ace.
Yeah.
You don't care.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know it's going to
Yeah.
fail.
That is their armor, is they
yeah.
just die. And I love it.
So yeah, I played clones. I played a 500-point game against you, Matt, I think, where we had Obi against Obi.
Oh, yeah. I think
we talked about that one. Yeah.
That was fun.
I had a lot of fun with Obi. Source Mastery is great. I think it's a cool ability,
yeah.
and they did nail a lot of those abilities. Like Dooku's coming out, his is going to be good.
Yeah.
So then the second game I played was, again, it was 800 points against a full droid army. Well, I say full, but all the stuff you put out there. Played a friend of mine, Steven, and he had Grievous out on the table and just a ton of droids. And what else? So he had 3 of the Roller
How did he
Boys
get to 800
droidicas.
points?
So he had 3 droidicas. He was,
okay.
yeah, and then I think we just, he had some additional models
Kept
out there.
throwing upgrades.
Oh, he bought
on
a
things.
box. He bought another box of
okay.
the core guys.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was pretty interesting. I had a small amount of clones out there, but I was able to position them, so he had to, flank me kind of, and a lot of token sharing. I would say the token sharing on the droid or on the clones is great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan is amazing in melee. At range, I don't know. I didn't have saber throw on him. I'm just trying to run him into melee as quick as possible.
Saber throw is no joke on him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 red and a black.
He's shooting ATST dice, essentially, which aren't phenomenal.
Yeah.
He kind of needs an aim, especially without having a native surge. So having saber throw is awesome because you're just basically getting rid of all of his crappy dice, and you're only throwing 2 reds and a black.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe if you want to have your Obi hang back, which I guess you kind of want to do a little bit, is have him hang back close to the clones.
Yeah, you don't want your Obi hanging out.
No.
All exposed like that.
Yeah, that's what I did. He took some damage, but
around.
I ended up winning just because I got Grievous off the board pretty early. So, but it was a good game. I liked it. I was running 2 bark speeders, which I know people hate those. I don't know. I think they're good. Yeah,
I am okay.
For a flanking unit, I think they're pretty good. You don't want to run them up the middle of the table because they're just going to get blasted off.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Which that's what I did with one because it was kind of a, hey, deal with this bark speeder while I get everything else into position. And then the other bark speeder I flanked, and that one was alive for the whole game. So, but I mean, it does okay.
John, has your reckless hatred of the bark speeder abated at all?
No, not really.
Okay.
I still, when I say that I've got everything done, built, painted, put together, it's
a lot.
Exclusion of the bark speeder. The bark speeder is still in bag.
Zero bark
I have
speeders,
zero
yeah.
intention of putting it together.
Sitting next to the priority supplies.
And it's not so much like I hate the way
the
it plays.
vaporators.
Like it's got good rules, and if you're using fire support from your clones to help that thing out, I mean, having that surge to hit is awesome.
Yeah.
I just don't like speeder bikes, any.
Well, you were an
anything that
X-wing
has
player, right?
What's up?
You were not an X-wing player.
I have the models. I bought
So you
the
were
first
not an
couple
X-wing
waves,
player?
but no.
Yeah,
He was
okay.
an X-Wing collector.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, I just don't like having to transport stuff on small clear pegs. That's why I would never play Eldar jet bikes. I would never. I don't like that.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So is it the movement of the thing, or you just don't like the clear pegs?
I don't like clear pegs.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not necessarily the rules, which people are split on.
Yeah.
I think is fair to say. But
I feel like they're going to be replaced early. I think
that's
other
kinda how
options are
the-
going to.
when the saber tank comes out,
I don't
maybe
even
the
know.
phase
I don't
two.
even know if the saber tank really fits in what the clones want to do. I think when you see Rex hit the table, when you see Phase 2 hit the table, when you start
Commandos?
seeing commandos, ARC guys. I mean, we're speculating right now. We don't
Well,
know.
like
this,
so
but-
commandos. I mean, special forces, forces units.
Stuff that's gonna keep with the clone trooper keyword,
Yeah.
keep with the token sharing. I just don't think that. I think that the bark speeder fits in better than the tank will, but I don't think the tank's gonna.
Yeah, I
see
looked
a
at the
lot of
tank.
play.
It's expensive. I don't know that I would run it. I'm gonna wait and see. But I mean, seeing how the Imperial tank does, just sitting on the board destroying stuff, it might be a good option
I'd
because
like
it
to
has
see
that same
some,
profile,
like
low profile.
ATPTs, ATRTs, that kind of thing. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll buy one, but again, I don't know how much I'll play that one. But anyway, getting back into our experience of the game so far, Matt.
Yes.
So you've played both armies, correct?
I have now played both armies. It took me a little while to get the droids out, but we actually played last Saturday for the droids, 500 points. And I have not played an 800-point game yet. I think they've all been exclusively like 500-point games. So, your mileage may vary type thing. I'm still building. But overall, really, really, I still think Kenobi is probably my favorite commander right now. I just really like his rules.
He's a lot of fun.
Really, really like his rules.
Yeah. So I never played Luke, I never played Luke in the first
Luke's
game.
fun. Yeah, he's good.
But I like Obi. How he plays.
He's a little bit more defensive, which is kind of like how I like to play, which is why I like the Empire in the first place, because those red dice saves. So it kind of doubles down, at least for the clones, on the things I enjoy about the Imperials, but also having a commander that is supporting the troops rather than, spending them.
Yeah, true.
Which is cool, but I'm still probably going to be playing Empire for LVO and all that kind of stuff. Especially if those, I really want to try the Dewback out. Apparently there's mixed reviews.
Yeah,
on that
I've
as
heard
well.
that.
Yeah.
Just from people playing them on TTS.
It's very visible, I guess, is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So slow as well. I mean, but you can spur it. But I mean, they just say it takes a while to get a position, and then it's getting shot at.
We'll see. But I definitely want to play. Well, they were getting off Clone Wars, but I want to, when Operative Vader comes out, maybe try out a Palpatine Op Vader kind of list.
There's some really good Operative Vader, Operative Luke lists bouncing out there on TTS right now. I mean, Kyle was talking about on Notorious Scoundrels, the Jedi Luke list he's running, and
that's awesome.
Sounds pretty cool.
It's good because I know people were a little bit shocked at the price tag on Jedi Luke when it first got revealed.
Sure, and he's going to be the chief weapon of your army if you're running.
Oh yeah,
the point cost or the price tag? The point cost.
The point cost, not the actual.
I was gonna say
$13.
Hey, we have no complaints about the model cost for individual figures in this game.
That's why I was confused. I was like, they're not that bad. What are you talking about? Got it.
Context, Jeffrey. Come on.
Use your words, Matt. The right words.
I did. Man, you're the worst. But did get to finally play the droids. Had a couple of missteps when John was being fantastic. Like, oh, here, that thing you just did, here's how you fix that in the future, which John is good for. Like having the one round where you're trying to throw Grievous. He's the only one who gets an order token.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, that's when you want your HQ uplink so you can keep your, firm lock on your order tokens.
Yeah, with droids, like you should never have a turn where you don't have complete order control.
And I really, really like that part of the droids.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
And it's just the core units that you have to worry about, right? Because the droidicas, they can move or shoot.
Well, droidicas have to move or shoot.
Yeah.
They have the AI rule too, just they have the flexibility that they can move instead.
Yeah, that's right.
They just don't get the aim shoot.
Yeah.
Which
is what you want sometimes.
Yeah. But even still, you can, on the 2 and 3 pip card turns, you can play those on your droidicas and pop your HQ uplinks.
Yeah.
And that's why you've got, like I was telling Matt, like I recommend having 2 B1 droids with HQ uplinks.
Yeah, just put them on anchor on either side of the line to get it going. So if one gets deleted or you have your link in the chain in the middle, gets deleted.
Yeah. I mean,
then you can still keep it going.
The pretty well established build right now for droids that's pretty successful is you run 2 droidicas, you run 6 B1s and then Grievous, put link targeting array on both B1 droids, and then that's going to give them the freedom to, when they get those orders, they can get that free aim, and then also either aim and shoot or, move, shoot, shoot, move, whatever you want to do. It gives them that flexibility, and then you pop the HQ uplink on a droid unit.
And get your tokens out to everything else.
And give them a rocket launcher, so they've got that double action for doing a recover. But anyway, Matt, you and I played that game. You did really well for being your first droid game.
Yeah, we
I heard there was a lot of good white dice.
Interesting.
In that game.
Yeah, I had some really spectacular white dice. John started out with some really good red dice, but it turns out crits at the end of the day.
There were like 2 or 3 times where you only rolled crits when Obi-Wan had...
so he couldn't trigger his the Sarasu. Yeah.
I was like, man, you know what? Like, that's fine. Get all the crits you want. Just give me 1 hit so I can pop that dodge and then deflect stuff. But no, you only rolled crits. And, of course, those were the times that I didn't roll my save.
Yeah, it was also the turn where I didn't have the order control, so I didn't even get to aim. I was just kind of winging white dice out there. And,
so can you still spin the dodge? You can still spin the dodge. You just wouldn't dodge anything.
If you don't have any eligible hits to spend the dodge on, you can't spend the dodge.
Is that right? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Like, listeners, correct me if I'm wrong on this.
So I know, like, high impact, you can't spin the dodge, But on all crits, I don't see why you can't spin the dodge. You're not going to dodge anything, but you could still spin
I want
the
to
token.
say that there was a ruling in this, and I can't remember what it is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we're only 78 episodes into a podcast.
I'm
about
sure
this
there is
game.
an
I feel
answer.
like we
Jeff
should
just
know that.
started pronouncing Legion properly. He was counting Legion for a long time. It was really weird.
Well, that's how Matt told me to pronounce it.
Legion.
We purposely trained you wrong as a joke. Okay, so just to go back to something you said.
Yeah.
You said link targeting array for the droids?
Yeah.
For the droidicas or the droids?
The droidicas.
Oh, the droidicas.
Yeah,
okay.
you did say B1s. When
Yeah.
You,
So
Oh,
that
did
was
I?
so I
I'm
was
sorry.
like,
yeah.
am I missing something there?
HQ uplink on the
B-
droids,
yeah, okay.
B1s, and then droidicas get link targeting.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Pulled that one back.
Gotcha.
Okay, cool. So making sure I'm not getting that many things wrong.
Yeah, right. Grievous was fun. I got a little bit too aggressive. I left him exposed one round when I didn't need to. However, it actually might have turned out okay because you ended up shooting a lot at him instead of the rest of my troops. And that after Grievous got removed, it was the B1s and the droidicas that were kind of carrying the day. So,
And that's really kind of the catch-22 that you have playing against droids is you've got this horde of relatively worthless B1 droids. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, well, they're not gonna kill me. I need to take care of Grievous. I need to take care of these droidicas. Then all of a sudden you realize, like, oh, it's turn 4, 5, or 6.
Yeah.
I need to worry about these objectives, and I can't get through all these wounds.
yeah. And then I think there was the one round that you had a misprioritization, like you wanted to suppress the B1s.
Yeah.
Instead, you ended up shooting up the droidicas, and they don't care about the suppression.
Yeah.
And honestly, the shields were fantastic for me, just because.
It takes a while to chew through those.
Yeah.
I know when I played, I think I removed one whole unit, so there was 3 of them. Removed one whole unit, that was after chewing through all of its shields. And then I got one down to half health, so one model gone. And then the last one, I didn't even touch it. But I was wrecking a lot of the droid groups. That was my main focus.
But
So another thing that I didn't realize when we played, and it would affect my general strategy against droids, you don't get the shield tokens in melee.
yes,
Right.
that is
So
true.
if you were to charge the droidicas in melee,
Yeah, because they were like, there was like a 3-foot gap. They were just shooting each other.
Yeah.
Or 1 inch in
Yeah.
game terms. They were just kind of staring at each other, just blazing away.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That's one of the things. Like, oh, if I could have just moved Obi-Wan into base to base with them and chopped them up, I mean, that's basically one turn, and he could foreseeably wipe them out.
Maybe you need to go
Yeah,
back
that's
and
fair.
watch the episode 1, because that's what he did, right? The whole movie, just stabbing droidicas.
Yeah, you're asking
Something
me
like
to rewatch episode 1.
Yeah, man.
I'm just playing. I've rewatched it like 3 times in the last.
While
year.
you're painting stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. If you
I want to know if we're going to get like those droid popper grenades from the TV show.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Oh, really?
The Clone Wars?
Oh,
It's one of the things we're going to do when the Disney Plus comes out.
okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Sure.
Watch that episode. It's also where Saw Gerrera comes in.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've gotten, like I said, probably about 8 games.
Oh,
8 to 10.
one
Yeah, what's
other
up?
thing. Sorry to just finish off on our game there. The knowing fire support how it works is one thing. Seeing the unit you stacked 6 suppression on, then just fire support somebody else,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, never mind then.
Nice. It's
It
nice.
feels real good.
Yeah.
Let me say.
Fire support's a double-edged sword, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
sure.
For an army that's going to be out-activated 95% of the time, using your guys fire supporting, and this kind of came to bite me in the butt the last 2 rounds of that game. I was basically low on orders anyway, and I was wasting them on fire support, and which essentially I was using 1 activation each turn, and that was it. And you were kind of doing whatever you wanted other than that. So you have to be careful, just making sure that you're not costing yourself too many activations.
I think it's one where you want to use it at very key moments in the game. Like, all right, you got Grievous out in the open, no wounds, or a commander out in the open, no wounds, no tokens. I'm gonna fire support this guy and take just try and get some damage through.
Yeah.
It is situational. I in the game I played, I didn't use it at all because I wanted my clones to be stacking tokens on themselves, and sharing tokens every time I had a chance to share token. I think I had like 5 surges on one of my clone units at one point just because they were all clustered. And, it was super nice.
But I like the way both armies play. They both play very different from each other,
Yes.
very different from what Rebels or Empire do. They're going to take a lot of nuance with the clones, especially to really get the feel for them.
Yeah.
because you really have, and we talked about this before, but you really have to be thinking like a chess player. Like you could be like 2 or 3 turns ahead, thinking like, okay, when do I want to unleash this devastating fire support, or when do I want to play Obi-Wan's card that's going to just load up on everyone with surge tokens.
And positioning is huge too, because you want to make sure you still have that range 1 between your units, which isn't too hard to get. But I mean, you know, like you're still spreading stuff out a bit more than we're used to.
Yeah. And with Obi-Wan too, like Grievous's 1-pip card is devastating, but it's also very easy to use. Like, you know, okay, I just need to get within range 1 of as many enemies as possible to unleash this, which is kind of exactly how Grievous wants to play anyway.
Right.
Obi-Wan's 1-pip rewards you for being within range 1 of as many enemies as possible, but he doesn't really want to do that. You know, generally he wants to remain within range 1 of his own dudes, which generally aren't going to be, you know, nut to butt with all of the enemy forces either.
Right. It seems that there's almost a chronological order that you play his command cards for. It's like, okay, he's marching with the troops, he's marching with the troops, turn
it's
4,
almost like
5,
3, 2,
whatever.
1.
That's
like,
when he's going to start going ballistic and jumping out.
Exactly.
Good luck, clones, here we go. You know.
Or he takes the point and they just support him from behind.
It makes him
you
a little
guys
bit
hold on to the
predictable.
objectives. I'm going to go kill all these guys.
Yeah. And actually, both of them are kind of that way.
Yeah.
I think Grievous too.
Because you don't want to get out there too early with Grievous.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're left with your mechanical butt hanging out.
I still think that Grievous's 3-pip is trash. And I know I've had people kind of argue with me on that.
Yeah.
Like LJ is kind of, and LJ's a better player than me, so he probably knows better. But
He's actually been playing him for a couple of months now too. So.
I still think it's garbage. I think it's just if you're winning already, then you're winning more, I guess.
So what's his 3-pip again? Because I haven't looked at his
It's the card where it's him and 2 other units.
Yep.
And if you add surge tokens based on how many
other units have been destroyed.
Enemy units have been destroyed already.
Yeah.
So it's a late game thing. And you know what? Maybe you've killed. Say they're playing a 13 activation rebel list, and you've already wrecked half their stuff. Well, okay, then play it, and it's gonna have a great effect. But if you've already killed that many units, you're probably winning already anyway.
Well, I mean, just because
you know what it is though,
it has
that
a
late
capability.
game swing.
Yeah, it could be. If things are really close and you're down to like your last couple of activations on each side, then
on something that
hey, guess
doesn't
what?
surge.
I've knocked out 4 of your dudes. Here comes all these tokens to support me this round.
Yeah.
That could break the stalemate. But hey, everybody's got their kink for that.
So with both new factions, I'm kind of already trying to think about how are they going to stack up against the Empire and the Rebels, because we've most of the games I've played at least have been cross faction Clone Wars box games.
Same here.
And a lot of the games I've played have been with new players.
Yeah.
We've got like probably good 6 or
You've
7.
been mostly coaching as opposed to
Yeah, I haven't played any competitive like I'm really going to try to concentrate and play this out.
Even on our game, you were teaching me how to play as we were.
Because that was the first time you'd played droids,
Yeah.
and it was only the second time I'd played clones.
Yeah.
So we were both
in which I didn't
learning.
help him at all. So.
I mean, you helped him as soon as you showed up to the table.
Yeah.
Hey, you won though, so there goes my ego boost. No, it was these are all been good instructional games. But as I'm playing, I'm trying to think about how are these going to stack up with what we see in the meta right now.
Well, I think it's nice because you're getting to play a practice against stuff that you haven't seen before. How many times have you played against the Empire? How many times have you played against the Rebels? Those are
feels
tactics.
So good, yeah.
Yeah, those are tactics that you already know, and as soon as you see them start doing stuff, you're like, okay, I know what their plan is. With clones or droids, it's a little different. You don't know how they're going to play yet. I mean, you do, but you don't.
My goal with picking up the starter box was to learn just the basics of them, so when I face them, I'd know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to fall in love.
So are you what are you settling on? Because you were at first you said I'm not going to play either one of them. I'm going to get a box.
Yeah.
I'm not playing either one. And then you said
I fell in love
I'm
with
going to play
models,
droids.
and then I'm like,
yeah. And now
I think
it
he's a
sounds
clone
like you're
warrior
enjoying
now,
clones a
yeah.
little bit too.
So I like the interoperability between the Clone Wars or the clones units, the token sharing.
Gotcha.
I really like that. I love the models.
Yeah.
And just having red dice saves, God,
it's
they're
so
so
good.
good.
Feels good,
Even
right?
when you blank
really
out. So
does.
you blank out, you're like, okay. But when you take like a 6 shot and you're like 6 defense, you're like, yes. That felt so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just so used to just saying, well, I'm just expecting to take all these wounds to see if I manage to save any. And
and I think this is your first time actually taking interest in like the lore for like your army. It was like just random rebel dudes. It's like, no, now we got the wolf pack, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that fit perfectly. So I'm
still on the fence a little bit.
I'm still on the fence. I'm still going to be buying models for both.
Yeah.
I really like Dooku. I like Dooku's rules.
Man,
the
Dooku
idea
looks
of
so
running Grievous and Dooku with 6 droids units, that's up my alley. Like that's something I want to play. And from what LJ, because LJ's running that in Invader League right now, and even though I think he just lost in single elimination, he's enjoyed it a lot. And he says it's really powerful.
That's a lot that's a lot of wounds to get through. And Dooku's no joke. Grievous is no joke. I mean, he's red defense dice as well. Yeah. So it's gonna be scary on the other side of the table.
But thinking about running Rex and Obi-Wan too, just at least for right now, because I don't run bark speeders. So running those two with 5 or 6 units of clones, I think that sounds a lot of fun too.
Man, I was really I don't know, I'm kind of getting into the lore a little bit too, because I didn't watch Clone Wars. I started watching a little bit of it a long time ago. Yeah. But I mean, I've always liked Obi-Wan since, the first movies, and then Ewan McGregor's a great Obi-Wan.
Sure.
He came back in I guess I should say spoilers for that, but it's been out for a while. Rebels, yeah.
What?
We've already talked about that on the show.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, whatever.
We've talked about it.
So it's really cool seeing Obi-Wan on the table, and then Rex as well. He's a pretty cool clone. Yeah. The fact that he fought that Order 66 programming or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm actually gonna paint my my Rex as Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
or not Gregor, Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah, and I bought a third-party sculpt for Plo Koon.
Okay.
So what I might run a Plo Koon Wolf and then Wolf Pack.
Dope.
And just basically
as your
substitute
models.
him as Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Exciting.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Rex on the table. I think he's going to be fun because he's like a Han but with better dice. And I don't think he has Pierce though, but he's rolling 3 reds and Gunslinger. He's got Sharpshooter.
We still haven't seen all his cards though.
Yeah, we haven't seen all of his cards.
There's a lot of unknowns.
I think he's going to be a good with the clones, getting orders out there, helping the clones get tokens. That's what it seems like, just from the 3-pip that we've seen.
Yeah, and being 90 points,
he's not that much. Yeah,
that's not
Leia
bad.
is the same price as Leia.
Yeah,
rolling better dice and more fighty. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to what his actual cards are. Yeah. Because that Han isn't the most powerful character on the board. Nah. But his cards are really good.
Yeah.
He's got some pretty good cards. That 0-pip card's amazing, and whereas he operates more by himself, I feel like
him and
Rex,
Chewie,
yeah. I feel like Rex is going to be more of a force multiplier,
right? Yeah. So you want him, and you want some clones around him, obviously for the token sharing. He gives out orders to 4 clones, I think, or 4 troopers with his 3-pip, which is cool, and that's the first one we've seen that's that many. So I'm excited.
All right, so. What do we got for Patreon news?
We have a new Outrider joining, supporting on Patreon. So many thanks to Damian Robinson.
Awesome. Thank you, Damian.
Welcome aboard there.
And any other news?
I think that's pretty much it for this time.
Yeah.
But I think we covered a lot there.
Yeah, we're just waiting on some articles and some stuff to release.
Boy. Yeah, by next time we'll be talking about some games. You'll get some Dooku and Rex games.
Yeah. Dookies. Get some Dookie.
And then...
Good throwback, Jeff. Way to bring that full circle.
Oh, yeah.
So worth.
Is it Friday yet? Almost.
Almost.
Also, before after we get the new commanders, I do want to do another reattack on the command card.
The command cards
rankings, because last time I did that, I think was right after Krennic had come out. Or it was before Krennic.
No, I think it was before.
It was before Krennic. And after Palp had come out.
Maybe, yeah.
So I want to go back, and now that we've got, Jyn and Krennic, and now these 2 new ones, and then all the ones that we've seen from the Operative Vader and Operative Luke.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Let's go ahead and reattack the command card rankings.
Sweet.
Cool. All right, thanks, guys, for listening, and we will catch you in 2 weeks.
You've been listening to the Legion Outriders podcast, a member of the Radio Free Tatooine Network.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
For more from the Outriders, make sure you like us on Twitter @Legion Outriders, subscribe to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Legion Outriders, and make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Thanks for listening.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home.